Hello, I'm Jessica and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to go over how to make a full bleed cover for your Yoto cards. I use vinyl sticker paper and this is the kind that I found on Amazon and I will be sure to link it below. And now I want to show you how I make these. So here is the template that I will be using. I will be sure to link it below, and as you can see, it definitely fits the cards perfectly. I will show you this tutorial on Photopea, but you can use any program that you prefer. So you click on this new project area. Next you want to change the paper size. Mine defaulted to pixels, and so I went and changed it to inches, and I made it 8.5 by 11. And then here under the DPI, or the dots per inch, I want this to be 300 instead of 72. The background being white is fine with me, and then you hit create. So there is my page, and over on the left, you can hit the little magnifying glass and zoom in. Then I want to hit File, Open and Place, and I'm going to select the template for the Yotos, and it perfectly sets itself on there, and then you double click. And so then you just take all of the pictures or images. You can save them from online, and so I'm gonna hit File, Open Place, and I'm gonna find some of my pictures that I have. And so on here, it seems that if you take these little corners and you slide in and out, it keeps it at a set scaling. If you want it to not do set scaling, like I want it to do right now, you hit your shift button and then it will let you stretch. But I just want it to be as close to this template as I can get it so that I can get the full bleed. And then once you're done editing and you have it in the right spot, you double click. Over on the right hand side, you can see that there are layers, so I can turn off and on the individual things. I can turn off the template, and whenever you're ready to save this or print this, you definitely want to turn off the Yoto template so it doesn't print on your cards. If something comes in the wrong direction, if you hover your mouse closer to the corner, there's a little arrow and you can turn. And here it's turning it incrementally. If you hit shift, then it will keep it so it stays straight. So here I have all of my pictures down, and now I'm going to unselect the copy of the Yoto card template. If for whatever reason this one is showing up on top and you can't see, the layer might be in the wrong spot, so you can just find it and drag it all the way to the bottom so that everything is showing. So I'm going to unselect, and then I'm going to hit File, Export As, and I'm going to export it as a PDF. I don't know why I changed the page size, but I'm going to put it back to 8.5 and the height by 11. Quality I want to 100%, and I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to first print this out on a piece of plain paper just to see how it's looking and to see if the cards line up correctly. I also like to mark which way I'm feeding my paper into the printer, as well as which side is up and down, so that I waste less paper and know how to load it into my printer. Because I chose matte, both sides look almost identical, so you literally have to pull it apart and then see which side is sticky and which isn't. So here you can see my final vinyl page with all of my labels on it. So I cut them out with scissors. You can also use an X-Acto knife, and then I stuck them onto the fronts, which is pretty easy to smooth out. Once you have that done, you pretty much just need to cut off any of the remaining portion. So you can use an X-Acto knife. I also have a self-healing mat. It does take a little bit of practice to get them lined up, as you can see here. But in general, I really like how this full bleed looks in comparison to just the sticker. This is obviously faster, but then you do have the chance that if you don't line it up perfectly, you might see some of the words. So it's totally up to you on which option you prefer. This is my chroma label, which is a paper label. This is my vinyl label. And I wanted to just go over durability. So if I scratch with my nail on this one, you can definitely see the color coming off. If I scratch on the vinyl, I'm not seeing anything other than the blue from this one going on this one. So it's definitely, oh, if I really chip it hard, I can. But on this one, I'm actually taking off paper if I do that. So it's definitely way more just durable, where this one, the color just slowly comes off. I figured we'd look if I spray them with water. So water definitely seems to get the color off of this one, but I don't know if that has to do with the printer that I have. And yeah, water just makes this peel off like crazy. So this one, it looks like there's still the vinyl underneath it. It's just the color is coming off pretty easily with that. I also wanted to look at if water just gets on it and I rub it around, nothing happens with the color. It's only if I really scrape hard with my nail that any of the color comes off. So just it being wet doesn't do much. So if you're worried about water on these and them not being waterproof, check out my other video where I show how to waterproof labels. But the number one thing I'm always asked about the vinyl labels is how hard or easy is it to remove? Just peel it off the side. Super, super simple. So if you are not wanting to print your own labels at home, you do have a couple of other options. So one of the most popular ones I've seen is called Boots Photo, and that is in the UK. So I live in the US and I can't use this option. I was able to find a company called StickerU, and they looked very comparable. You can put in the exact size that you want your sticker to be. You upload your images yourself, and then they will print it and ship it to you. And that company also will ship to the US, the UK, Australia, and other, and Canada as well. Another option is if you have a Cricut vinyl cutter, you can also use this to make your covers, and you can get a full bleed that way. They sell printable vinyl paper that you can print in the printer and then cut on your Cricut. Another thing you can look into is the HP Sprocket, and it is a portable picture printer that has a sticky back. So the big thing is it's a 2" by 3" label, which means it is pretty much like my Chroma label, which I made a tutorial on how to do just this paper sticker cover, and I will link that down below, but you will have a border around your sticker. And that is the same if you use the HP Sprocket, if you use the Canon Ivy, or the Polaroid High Print. They all have a really good sticker paper that's pretty waterproof and tear resistant, but you will have a border around it. They also have an HP Sprocket Plus and an HP Sprocket Select. The paper inside is 2" by 3.4, and so that means you will have just a tiny bit of a border down here, and it will go full width, but you will need to cut off a little bit on the sides. Obviously, all of these small printers or the Cricut, they use proprietary paper and ink, so that can up your costs a lot. However, if you really want a good quality picture, or you already own one of these items, it could be really cost effective to go that route. I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and I'll be happy to answer those for you. I also did want to mention that Yoto has a really good Facebook group called Yoto Community, and not only does Yoto answer questions or help with troubleshooting, but also just other people who on a daily basis use their Yotos. So that one is a really good resource to have. If you have a different way that you label your Yoto cards than I've mentioned in my previous video or in this one, please be sure to comment below. I'm always interested in new ways, and I hope you have a great day. Cheers!